Welcome back. This time I want to recommend the manga Urenokori no Dorei Elf wo Hirotta no de, translated as My Daughter Was an Unsold Elf Slave. It's a manga adaptation drawn by Sawamura Akira and written by Haruka Touko, which heavily implies there's a novel behind it. Also, there's a bookwalker and Amazon.jp bookstore link, so that's most likely the case. It's currently on volume 4, chapter 28. Unfortunately, it's not being officially released as of now in English or any other languages, as far as I've researched, but it will most likely get picked up by a major brand and get an official release because it's getting that much traction, in my opinion at least. Urenokori Elf is a manga or novel which follows the story of Weiss, which is a white and a German, and his adopted daughter Lily. Weiss is a mage, currently living in the city of Zenith. He is supposedly, as the manga kind of leans towards to, a very strong mage who moved to a city sort of unknown called Zenith. The city is known for being a hub of illegal activities and scoundrels. So he moves there to, well, circumstances will show like why, will most likely not gonna present the reason, but he moved into Zenith to stay low, basically. And by the very first chapter, Weiss buys from someone who he apparently knows an unsold elf child, recognizing she's a high elf by her years. She eventually kind of names herself Lily. Ultimately, Weiss is the one who chose the name, but if you read, you will understand why he came to that conclusion. Lily is an unsold elf. She's a high elf, and as later chapters will, clarify, I guess, she possesses a very high magic aptitude. Like in the very first chapters, it already explains the whole, trope behind the high elf in this work. But yeah, she's very skilled when it comes to using magic. It's a nice slice of life, with some action in between. Couple of kind of tries to be a shonen, a fantasy shonen from time to time, but it's mostly a slice of life, basically showing the daily life of Vice and Lily, and the things that they, the situations they get into. It's pretty similar to Your Castle's Little Helper, which is another work that I want to talk about later, but it's not isekai. It doesn't use that trope, which Little Castle's Helper does use. It touches on a very delicate subject, in my opinion, which is children, and how I guess most people basically would feel about it, like the feeling that you have to provide a safe environment and a good place for child development, which is also behind the main characters or Vice reasoning. So he performs a bunch of, let's say, actions, or he does certain things, or most things actually, thinking about Lily, on how he can provide a better environment for her, different from what he had, because later on in the story, his past is kind of brought into light, and how he had certain things why he moved away, why he fled his house, why he moved to Zenith, and so on and so forth. It provides a lot of entertainment value, in my opinion. I think it's a really good work. If you want to just pick up something to read and something light with good to moderate, how can I say, like comedic value, I guess, and also family oriented, basically. So yeah, I think it's really good. The art is pretty standard. I think it follows a more shoujo ish sort of art style, but it's really good. Especially Lily, when the artist is drawing how she changes clothing, when she's trying on new clothes and all that. It's really it's pretty good, and it kind of leans towards that way. But yeah, that's it for this one. I want to thank all of you that have followed, that are watching, etc., and listening to the whole thing. I want to thank the feedback. I want to thank, I think, Zeno51 for the feedback. I used to write drafts for my recommendations and before recording, but I kind of dropped because I feel like, well, at least I felt it wasn't that relevant, because the retention wasn't. I don't know. I gotta check again analytics, but retention wasn't that high back then. But now it seems to be increasing. So yeah, I want to thank you all for the feedback, for your opinion on the matters and all that. And I hope that, well, especially the main objective, I hope that you're all reading the works and that you're having fun and enjoying, because that's usually what I do when I'm reading manga. So I'll see you all in the next recommendation.